Hello, my name is ANDASSOVA Maral. I'm an assistant professor at WIAS, and today I would like to talk about the results of my research activity at WIAS. And let me share the screen. I joined WIAS on April 2022, and the topic of my research is a study on Izumo Fudoki, the records of Izumo in ancient Japanese literature. And today I will be talking about the objectives of my research, about academic presentations, publications, and organization of conferences and future tasks. Firstly, I would like to provide some basic information about Izumo Fudoki. Izumo Fudoki was compiled in the first part of the 8th century. This period is remarkable for establishing a central administrative government in Japan with the emperor at its head. The Yamato imperial court decided to write a national history that provided the divine origins of the emperor and gave a unified picture of mythical figures. Thus, the centrally edited myths were compiled. They are Kojiki, or the records of ancient matters, and Nihon Shoki, or the chronicles of Japan. In 713, the central government issued an edict to all provincial governors, ordering written reports about the provinces. These reports, or ge in Japanese, eventually came to be known as Fudoki. Only 5 Fudoki of substantial length are extant, and they are Harima, Hizen, Bungo, Hitachi, and Izumo provinces. Each was separately compiled and presented to the court. There are also fragments of others called Fudoki Itsubun. The most informative of the 5 and the only one to survive in its original form is the Izumo Fudoki. And Izumo is prefecture Shimane in present Japan, and this prefecture is located on the western part of Japan. The Izumo Fudoki differs from other Fudoki in that other Fudoki were compiled by officials dispatched from the central government. In contrast, Izumo Fudoki was compiled by Izumo locals under the auspices of Hiroshima of the Izumo no Omi family, or the Kuni no Miyatsuko of Izumo. And Kuni no Miyatsuko means that this figure was the high priest of Izumo. And the compilation of Izumo Fudoki was completed in 733. Traditionally, Izumo Fudoki was recognized as a local gazetteer and was considered a secondary source, which is valuable since it helps to understand centrally edited myths, Kojiki and Nihon Shoki. However, in the 1970s, historians pointed out the importance of discerning Izumo Fudoki from the perspectives of Izumo, not the Yamato. They figure out the process, how myths and legends about the main Izumo deities spread from Izumo to Yamato and form the Izumo cycle myths in Kojiki and Nihon Shoki. In contrast with historical studies, the most recent literary studies depict Izumo Fudoki as a text that accepted the mythology of Yamato court and retold or reproduced the legends of Kojiki and Nihon Shoki in a way that was appropriate to the compiler. My research is in line with literary studies. The point is that some myths and deities appear in both Izumo Fudoki and centrally edited myths, and some mythological motifs in Izumo Fudoki reflect mythology typical of the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki. However, they are presented in a different way. And the research question is why these myths and deities are portrayed differently in these texts. And these differences may have been caused by the specific position of the compiler of Hiroshima from the Izumo no Omi family, who was a high priest and important religious figure in Izumo. And my hypothesis, this hypothesis is same with the results of my research, is that the compiler of Izumo Fudoki perceived the mythological motifs of Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, but he recreated this myth by changing the characters of the deities and adding his own vision. His purpose was to strengthen his position as the high priest of Izumo. And the objectives of my research are to analyze the rituals performed by the high priest of Izumo and point out how his sacred practices influenced the content of the Izumo Fudoki. Furthermore, analyzing the characteristics, the features of Izumo Fudoki, my research is positioning Izumo Fudoki in relation to other texts of the 8th century. And my methodology is the perspective of intertextuality. I analyze Kojiki, Nihon Shoki, Izumo Fudoki, and prayer of Komyogoto from the perspective of intertextuality. During my research period at WIAS, I received a Kakenhi research startup on August 2022, and this gave me an opportunity to give several presentations in Japan and abroad. And my first presentation was given on October 2022 on a conference of the Academic Society for Ancient Literary Studies in Tokyo. In this conference, I focused on Ameno-Hohi, the ancestral god of the Izumo high priest, and analyzed his descriptions about this deity in Kojiki, Nihon Shoki, and Izumo Fudoki. Then, on July 2023, I participated in a conference of the Academic Society for Japanese Literary Studies in Tokyo, and I gave a presentation regarding the prayer of Kamyogoto, a Shinto liturgy of the Izumo high priest. On October 2023, I visited Ca' Foscari University of Venice in Italy and participated in an international conference, Ca' Foscari Dialogues on Japanese Pre-Modern Literature as Ritual in Japan. On this conference, I gave a presentation entitled The Voice of Ritual, the Shinto liturgy of the Izumo high priest. Then, on November 2023, I visited Germany, and I met with a professor of Heidelberg University, Judith Alokai, and we exchanged our knowledge regarding the pre-modern Japanese literature, and she gave me some insights to the perspective of intertextuality. She shared with me information regarding the articles and books that use this methodology in studying Japanese pre-modern literature. Additionally, on November 2023, I participated in an international symposium at University of Tübingen, and this symposium was about Japan's imperial mythology. And I gave a presentation entitled The Emperors in the Kojiki in the context of their relationships with the local deities. In this presentation, I focused on the relationships between the emperors and Izumo deities. In addition to my study of Izumo Fudoki, I also focused on the topic of translation and reception of ancient Japanese mythology. On February 2023, I participated in an international conference, the Revival of Classics, which was held in Kyoto, in Japan. And I gave a presentation entitled The Revival of the Classics, translation and reception of Kojiki, Nihon Shoki, and Fudoki. And the results of this conference were published as a book, and my paper became a book chapter. And in this paper, I focused on the translation and reception of ancient Japanese literature. In addition to my research activity at WIAS, I joined a Japanese Center for Research Center for Japanese Studies, or Nichibunken, as a joint researcher on April 2023, and I gave a presentation on a joint seminar that was organized by Araki Hiroshi Sensei at Nichibunken. And in this seminar, I focused on perceptions of time in Sufi poetry and ancient Japanese literature. Also, I published an article entitled Ame no Miita and Ame no Miryota in Izumo Fudoki in a journal Japanese Literature on February 2023. In this article, I analyzed descriptions of the sacred fields of the main deity of Izumo, Onamuji, how these fields interpreted, portrayed in Nihon Shoki and Izumo Fudoki. Also, I wrote an article focusing on the prayer of Kamyogoto, the liturgy of the Izumo High Priest. I sent this article to the journal Japanese Literature. The article was accepted, but it hasn't been published yet. Furthermore, I organized some conferences in collaboration with Fiedler Alan Sensei, the former assistant professor of WIAS. We organized 2 symposiums in the Songs and Beliefs series. Our first symposium was held on June 2023, and it focused on songs of Japan of ancient and medieval period. And our second symposium was held on December 2023. And in this symposium, we focused on the process of reception of songs and beliefs in Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. On March 2024, we published the results of these 2 symposiums as a journal, a collection of articles. And my article regarding the marriage song of Jima in Kojiki was published in this journal. On December 2023, we organized an international symposium, The Transformation and Generation of Classics in Literature and Art. And our speakers were Edoardo Gervini Sensei, a researcher from Ca' Foscari University of Venice, and Natsuko Kuwabara Sensei, an assistant professor of WIAS. And we had a very vivid discussion about the transformation of classics in Japanese pre-modern literature and Italian art. Our co-organizers were SGU Global Japanese Studies and Research Institute for Letters, Arts and Sciences of Waseda University. In addition to these research activities, I also supported the international exchange between the Faculty of Human Sciences of Waseda University and the Faculty of Oriental Studies of Kazakh University of International Relationships and Foreign Languages. An agreement between these 2 faculties was signed this year. I supported a visit of the group of students from Kazakh University to Waseda University on January 2023, and visit of group of students from Waseda University to Kazakh University of Foreign Languages on February and September 2023. Furthermore, we are going to organize a conference on September 2024 entitled International Cooperation in Promoting School and University Education Reform, Kazakhstan and Japan. And our co-organizers are Advanced Research Center for Human Sciences and Kazakhstan Association for Japanese Studies. We are inviting Asada Sensei, Professor Asada from the Faculty of Human Sciences of Waseda University. And also we are going to have collaboration with researchers of Kazakh University of Foreign Languages and Kazakh National University. I conducted the following lecture courses during being assistant professor at WIAS. Courses such as academic literacy, reading the Kojiki, and Japanese culture through the history of the reception of mythology on the Faculty of Political Science and Economics, and a course of Japanese literature with focus on pre-modern literature at the Faculty of Science and Engineering. And my future tasks are to continue my study of ancient Japanese literature with focus on Izumo no Fudoki. And also I'm going to visit Aarhus University this September for 1 month. And my research topic is the study of the translation of Japanese mythology into English during Meiji era. Thank you very much for your attention, and also I'm very grateful to WIAS for receiving such great opportunity to improve my research. Thank you very much.